Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Freedom Teachings video series.
Robert Scheinfeld here. Welcome to the debut episode of what I'm calling Q&A Fridays. And as the name would suggest, on Fridays, I'm going to answer questions that have been sent in to me by subscribers to my newsletters and other things, people who are involved with the products and services and coaching that I share. And I've asked them to submit what I call their most burning questions. And so every Friday I'll take one, maybe two, maybe three, it just depends how long they are. I'll take a question or more and I'll answer it on this video, and you'll be able to experience it in a variety of ways within my sphere of influence. Friday Q&As. So here's the first one. Today I'm actually going to answer two questions because it's the first episode and because they're kind of related. And so the first question that I get all the time, this first question is from someone that isn't familiar with anything that I share through books, courses, experiences, live events, whatever. And the question is, what makes your teaching so different, Robert? What makes what you're now calling the Ultimate Freedom Teaching so different from all the other stuff out there, from all the other people that are screaming, I got the solution, I got the answer, I got the whatever that you need to create the life of your dreams? So let's take a look at that question. Bear in mind, I tend to be long-winded anyway. If you've been to anything that I do, you know that. I could talk for hours, days, weeks, months on this particular topic, but here I'm going to keep it brief. Most people out there, my bias, everything is my bias. I'm completely aware of that. Where it goes, it goes. I'm going to share my bias with all the passion that I feel about it, and you may love it, you may hate it, you may love me, you may not, you may hate me, you may disagree with all of it, I may make you really angry, whatever. I'm shining my light, so to speak. I'm shining my essence, and where it goes, it goes. My experience in my life wasn't working. And I was looking for the technique, the magic bullet technique, the magic genie kind of thing, the whatever that I could use to fix the stuff that was broken that I didn't like, to bring in the stuff that I didn't have that I wanted, to have more of the stuff that I did have but I wanted more of, to be able to have it all. Across the board. Health, relationships, wealth, prosperity, happiness, all of the typical kinds of things that we're all after, and specific goals within my particular career dynamics, which took different shapes at different parts of my life. And the party line for all of these things is, I'm being very general and there are a lot of different variations, but the party line that I discovered, and this is in what I call mainstream teachings, it's in psychological teachings, it's in what you might call metaphysical or new age or spiritual teachings, it's the same basic party line with different variations, and that is, number one, you must start out and get really clear on what it is that you want. And then number two, you must have a specific strategy that you use to get from where you are right now to this particular outcome. And you must march relentlessly from the starting point to the end point of producing your result, changing your approach at various points if you need to. And if it isn't working, then you must find out what's hidden deep within you, subconscious, limiting, sabotaging belief, some karmic thing, some past life thing, some brain wiring thing, whatever it is, there's different explanations. And then find a way to dynamite that so that ultimately you can get to your destination. So, get clear on what you want, have a strategy, and the strategy generally involves various techniques and strategies and tools and methods and practices, and then march relentlessly with an enormous amount of passion and persistence to get what you want. And I tried that, and it didn't work. I either didn't get what I wanted, or I got what I wanted, and then this part of my life was going really well, but then these parts of my life were not. So then I would try to apply this whatever to these things in my life that weren't working, the things I still didn't have, and maybe I got them, maybe I didn't. A lot of the times I didn't, but a lot of times I'd get one of these things and then this would change. The money was going really well, but these things weren't, and then I'd start to use the magic techniques on this, and I'd get this, and then the money wouldn't work. And I was constantly trying to get all of my ducks in a row, but never able to. And underneath all of it was constantly being unhappy, constantly being angry, constantly being frustrated, and constantly feeling like I was a victim and being mistreated and abused by people in the universe and the creator, whatever you want to call it. And so on my journey, I've talked about this in other places, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it now, it became clear to me through my biased eyes and my experience, there's something going on here that's creating what's happening to me, these patterns, that I don't understand. And it isn't being taught in the books, and it isn't being taught in the courses, and it isn't being taught in the workshops and the videos and the live whatevers. And I want to know what it is. And I want to be able to tap into it, harness it, whatever, to be able to get what I wanted. And if you know my story, a conversation that I had with my grandfather when I was 12 years old had a huge shaping on that desire to find this mysterious something that's what really is creating what's going on in our lives. And so one thing led to another, those things led to other things, and ultimately what happened is I got off that path of getting clear on what you want and then trying to find a way to get there. And what happened with me is it became crystal clear to me that imagine for a moment, I like using the metaphor of sun and clouds. So imagine for a moment that the sun, like you'd see up in the sky, that the sun represents what it is that you really want, whatever it is. Prosperity, abundance, successful career, wonderful relationship, great sex, perfect health, whatever it is that you want. And we all tend to have huge lists of the things that we want to change, fix, and improve. Imagine that it's the equivalent of the sun. And imagine the sun is represented by my fist here. This is what you want. And then imagine that just like clouds can block either us seeing the sun or experiencing its full light and heat, imagine that there's something, this layer of cloud cover, there's something that's blocking your experience of the sun. And the sun can have in it whatever, the most amazing, extraordinary whatevers, and it can match what's taught in the party line in a lot of personal development, spiritual development, manifestation, other kinds of techniques in terms of what's really possible. But my bias is there's something blocking your experience of this, like sun, clouds blocking. And it's not, what I discovered is it has nothing to do with the subconscious mind. It has nothing to do with the way your brain's wired. It has nothing to do with past lives or karma or whatever, really, although it can appear that way, and there's lots of evidence to suggest that that's the way it works. But my bias is there's something else going on. Even if all of those things are true in your story or they happen to be there, there's some other block. There's something else in the way. There's something else that's stopping you from having the experience that you really, 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 really want. That doesn't mean getting everything that a magic genie would give you if you had one, but really having it all and having an awesome life, the life of your dreams, whatever, what would really fulfill you and float your boat. There's something blocking it. Everybody who's an expert on something, who writes, speaks, teaches, coaches, whatever, speaks, teaches, coaches, whatever, has a unique something to contribute to the world and to their clients and to their people. They have a unique layer of expertise. And mine was, I found out what this block was. And it's not one thing, it's a combination of things. I found out what's in the cloud cover. I found out what was blocking the experiences that I really wanted and the kind of life that I really wanted. And I not only found out what the block was, I found out how to remove it. And I found out how to experience the sun of what I really, really wanted. And in my case, part of what I really, really wanted was to experience truth with a capital T, related to the deeper mysteries of life. Who are we? Why are we really here? What's our life purpose? How do things really work while we're here? What's the point of it all? Those kinds of things are all what I call truth with a capital T. What's really creating our experiences day to day. And so that's my unique piece of the puzzle. That's what makes the teachings unique. I don't teach you how to produce the results that you want. I don't empower you to produce the results that you want. I don't give you a way to heal old wounds or change your beliefs or rewire your brain. I don't do any of that. What I do is I help people to remove the cloud cover so that the sun of truth, the sun of the kind of power that's really available, the truth about what's really going on can be, again, words don't serve, accessed and tapped. And so that's what makes the teaching so unique. And what I discovered, ironically, is even though all the teachings say you got to get clear on what you want and be as specific as possible, and then you have to use these techniques to march to it, and you have to constantly set your intentions for everything and try to control it all from here and that kind of thing, what I discovered is, no, don't have to. Once this happens, once the cloud cover is knocked out, once this mysterious block that's multi-layered and has complexity to it is removed, dissolved, whatever words you want, all those things take care of themselves. And they take care of themselves in magical, amazing, surprising ways without you having to set goals, set intentions, target results, trying to produce things. Things just happen. And they appear to be fun, effortless, whatever, and things just happen. Not everything you'd ask a magic genie for, but amazing things that you're totally thrilled with. They take care of themselves once this happens. And so that's what makes the teaching so different. I'm able to show you what this is, how this happened, what's been going on your whole life, and then how to create this. And when you create this, and this is able to shine in brightly, just like removing the sun, and all of a sudden, you're on the beach, and you're sun tanning on a vacation, and you're feeling the heat of the sun on your face, and you're tanning, and you're feeling warm, and then all of a sudden clouds come in, and it feels cooler, and it gets darker, and then when the sun comes back out again, it's bright and it's warm, and you can feel it all and enjoy the sun again. That's the kind of thing that I help people to do. But it has nothing to do with manifesting. It has nothing to do with setting goals. It has nothing to do with trying to control your thoughts or trying to manifest specific things. It isn't about getting clear on what you... All of that takes care of itself. And that's what makes the technique so powerful and so different. And it works literal miracles when this happens. Now, the second question I got, which is related to this, which is why I'm combining them, was, okay, so in the Ultimate Freedom Teachings, Robert, what about manifesting? How do you do it? How do you go about getting the things that you want? On this path, the Ultimate Freedom Path, as I call it, the Ultimate Key to Freedom experience, by the way, is what facilitates this happening without you having to use tools or techniques or healing anything. It's an experience that does it. The Ultimate Key to Freedom teachings are not about manifesting. It's just about doing this. And when this happens and this shines through, again, as I said, everything takes care of itself. So to me, what used to be an exhausting journey of, okay, what do I want? And to me, I don't know if you've had this experience, it seems obvious sometimes, but I didn't know what I wanted. And I had so many things happen to me where I thought I wanted this, and then I experienced this, and it wasn't so cool. It wasn't what I expected. It didn't fulfill me. It didn't make me happy. It wasn't even all that enjoyable except in a little blip when I first got it. So what ultimately happened with me is, how the hell do I know what I really want? How the hell do I know what would really make me happy? I don't have any idea. And then it didn't become necessary. Because once this happened, amazing stuff just started to happen in my life across the board in everything. Without me trying to produce it, trying to manifest it, going down that exhausting path of getting clear of what I want. Okay, now what do I want? Now what do I want? Oh, it didn't work. How do I change my approach? Oh, it didn't work. How do I find out what's blocking me and change it, heal it, remove it, whatever? To me, it was exhausting, and it was hamster on a wheel, and it was run, 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 and get nowhere, and it was this crazy, exhausting, frustrating, whatever. Perhaps you have experienced that. Most of the people that come into my sphere of influence have. That's all gone. You just live your life, and you live your life in a very, very different way that I get into in some of the other teachings and things that I offer as gifts. No expression of appreciation in the form of money, as I call it, on the website, so do explore it, particularly the send the training thing that you'll see at the top of this page. You live your life in a radically different way, and if what happens is you all of a sudden a desire for something appears, fine. If you start to move in the direction of getting it, fine. If you're in a job or you're in a situation where somebody's asking you to set goals or targets as part of your work, fine. But you're still living and experiencing things in a radically different way, and it's a completely different ballgame. But it isn't about manifesting. It's about knocking out the cloud cover, being able to experience truth with a capital T. Words don't serve, but tap into that power, align with that power, more accurately, be that power, be who you really are behind the scenes from a, let's call it, spiritual truth perspective. And the rest of it takes care of itself. That's been my experience. And it may sound la-di-da to you. It may sound impossible to you. There may be something that's swirling that says, I can't imagine a way that I could live my life without setting intentions and wanting particular things and going down the direction of trying in this whole way that I've been taught, But what I can tell you is there's a very different way to live your life. And it's what I call ultimate freedom. And the ultimate freedom teachings that I offer are the way to move from where you are now, where you've been, into that kind of an experience, the sun shining, block removed, and experiencing what I call ultimate freedom, or if you're aware of the teachings, a synonym for ultimate freedom is phase 3, with the sun shining. Okay, so that completes this first episode of Q&A Fridays. If you're watching this on my blog, on the right side of the page, you'll see a little square that says burning questions. If you have burning questions on any of the kinds of things we've talked about here or other things that are related, send them to me. I obviously can't answer all of them in this because there's too many people and too many questions. But what I do is I take all the questions in, I take a look at the ones that I think are the most universal, the most interesting, the most supportive, that can have the most impact, the answers on the lives of as many people as possible, and then I answer those here. And my intention is, barring a vacation or something, that this will be done every Friday. So I hope you'll join me. And on that note, I'll say bye-bye for now. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
If you'd like to get more information on what you just discovered, go ahead and click on the Learn More button that you'll see appearing in a few seconds.